In today's video, we're going to summarize the investigation thus far on the disturbing mystery, the House of Chai. Before we dive in, here is a brief summary. There are a series of websites on the clear net, aka the normal internet, not the dark web, with borderline CP images and disturbing captions scattered across the pages. The owner of these websites goes by the alias Dr. Chai Lee and comes across as a possibly mentally ill person with predator tendencies, intentional or accidental. Fellow YouTuber Eudoxia Mysteries created his own video on the subject. If you'd like even more background before we dive in, I highly recommend giving it a watch. With that out of the way, let's start unpacking this disturbing mystery. The first website, houseofchai.com, dates back to 2003. A few investigators in our Discord estimated the website we see today was put up around 2007 to 2008. There's a lot to unpack from this website alone. At first glance, it seems like a relatively innocent, early 2000s website, bad web design and all. But then you start scrolling, and something becomes painfully obvious. This website isn't innocent at all. Not only are there hundreds, if not thousands, of pictures depicting minors in revealing clothing and poses, but there are disturbing captions to go along with the pictures, from cannibalism and sexual innuendos to downright disturbing things better left unsaid. Here are a few examples. Moving on, the website itself is filled with hundreds of links to other websites, some owned by Chai Lee and some not. One website owned by Chai Lee, called nationofchaitelevision.com, offers even more questionable pictures, along with more disturbing captions. Now, a lot of people investigating these websites are calling the images barely legal CP because they don't show nudity. However, many people also reported after clicking through pages, it was easy to find images where very little was left to the imagination. And remember, these are kids. Another thing worth mentioning about the websites are the ramblings often included on the pages. The ramblings are similar to what people refer to as word salad in reference to those suffering from schizophrenia, as they offer no real value and make very little sense. Additionally, there are video files that automatically download without warning after clicking on certain links. Fortunately, the videos held no importance or CP. Similar websites owned by Chai Lee include naturalwondergirls.com, cosmicdreamworlds.org, nationofchairocks.com, and two adult entertainment websites called Lematimos and lematimoskids.com, both of which were recently taken down. The two removed websites, namely Lematimos Kids, apparently offered even more disturbing pictures of little girls in extremely revealing clothing and sexual poses. We'll discuss the removal of the websites in the conclusion of this video, but for now, let's move on to the business side of the House of Chai. Another main feature of the House of Chai websites is the entertainment network, where films are reportedly coming out in 2020. The two most mentioned films are Rubber Doll and House of Chai's House Parties, the movie. The film we're going to focus on in this section is House of Chai's House Parties. According to Chai Lee's Indiegogo campaign, this movie has been in production since 2015. In the campaign, Lee offers a picture detailing the film's budget at $115,000, along with a synopsis. The synopsis reads, featuring the twins' birthday party, where the trust fund babies and the jet set guests are the food. The twins, Enya and Anya, are adored by the family for being the most elegant, the most style-savvy, and the most frighteningly brutal members of the entire standing bloodline. The entire story takes place on the twins' Grand Mansion estate. Now, according to Lee's websites, this film will feature an all-female cast, ages 10 to 31, except for Chai Lee, who will play the band's lead singer. Lee is still searching for girls to play in the movie. A deep dive down the rabbit hole surfaced a YouTube video where a young girl sent in an audition tape for a role in the House of Chai movie. I will not be sharing the video, but a 4chan investigator did reach out to the mother of this girl for information on Chai Lee. The mother responded, and the 4chan investigator shared the screenshots. I will not be reading the screenshots out loud, but feel free to pause the video. In short, Chai Lee reached out to the girl via email, she sent in the audition tape, she was cast, and then the mother pulled her out after doing more research on the film and likely the company behind the film. But it doesn't end there. Chai Lee also lists several girls already cast. One of our investigators reached out to one of the girls, to which the girl said she was not starring in the film. This is essentially where the media side of this mystery ends. Most of these films have been in production for 5+ years now, with no sign of ever coming out, and the girls listed under cast are likely not involved either. And while Lee does address this somewhat on his manifesto page, consider me still highly skeptical. Now, with the House of Chai Entertainment Network out of the way, let's take a look at the man himself. For the sake of privacy, I will not discuss personal information related to Chai Lee, including possible names, addresses, phone numbers, or social media accounts, other than what is already associated with his alias. On the House of Chai website, Chai Lee shares a biography where he claims he was born on May 21st, 1964 in Chicago, Illinois. On another public profile page, he says, I created and own the international television network ITN and Chai TV. Over 20 years old, with around 4 billion IPs per month running content from ITN and Chai TV, which actually exceeds YouTube's monthly IPs running YouTube content. We've always been ahead of them for viewership. We are much older than they are. Now there's something I want to briefly touch on. When you take a look at any of Chai Lee's websites, you instantly get the impression of a mentally unstable man who truly believes every part of his fantasy. For example, he believes his company is extremely successful, he is clearly reaching out to girls to act in his films, and he is regularly updating his websites. But there's also evidence of Chai Lee having a stable mind, at least some of the time. He has a large online presence, and not all of it is incoherent. That said, it's not unusual for someone who is mentally unstable to have moments of stability. The only other things worth mentioning are Lee's somewhat active Twitter account and his Indiegogo campaigns. Most of the campaigns involve one of his projects, the Sisters of Chai Sorority Orphan Resource Trust. According to the campaigns, Lee was trying to raise funds to put orphan girls through college-level studies and career preparation. None of his campaigns garnered much success despite Donate Now links scattered across his websites. As for the Twitter account, it's basically a tweet version of the content on his website, minus the borderline CP pictures and disturbing captions. This leaves me with a lot of questions about Chai Lee himself. I'm not convinced he's completely in control of what he's doing, but I'm also not convinced he isn't. The problem is these websites are up for anyone to view, literally anyone. If Chai Lee isn't a predator himself, there are still undoubtedly predators flocking to this seemingly legal CP website. This leads into the last part of my video, the theories. Picking up where we left off, House of Chai could easily be a mentally unstable person living in his own fantasy world where he produces media for a large, made-up fan base. I say made up because on several occasions, Chai Lee mentions how many people are supposedly involved in his business and how many viewers he gets. He even goes as far as to say his company is larger and more popular than YouTube, yet there's absolutely no proof to back this up. Honestly, this theory makes a lot of sense. People who suffer from a serious mental illness might not see the problem with posting borderline CP images to entertain their personal fantasy. Unfortunately, that doesn't make the situation okay. Even if Charlie isn't a predator himself, he's still giving disturbing resources to the millions of predators out there. Never mind the hundreds of disturbing captions, which leads to my next theory. A part of me is still skeptical about Charlie's involvement. If it were the pictures alone, I'd be 100% for the last theory. But the captions still make me pause. If Lee has no idea what he's doing is wrong, why would he put up the disturbing captions? While I hope this isn't the case, it very well could be that the House of Chai is only a gateway to something more sinister. There are a few sub-theories to discuss here. First, it could be that Lee is hosting this website with borderline CP for predators because, despite the disturbing content, it's still technically illegal. Likewise, his film business and mentally unstable persona could be a way of manipulating the situation to his benefit. Another sub-theory is Charlie really is mentally unstable and the House of Chai network goes far deeper than him. Some believe Lee could be a scapegoat for the true owners of the Chai network, and by letting Lee think he's in charge, they're able to stay hidden from view while Lee takes all the blame. Really, the sub-theories for this theory are endless, but the basis is the House of Chai network is only the beginning. It could be a predator operation, a website with legal borderline CP for predators, a trafficking ring of some sort, or something else entirely. The sad thing is, this theory makes the most sense to me. When you combine the disturbing pictures of children with the messed up captions, well, what else could it be? With that said, here is the last theory. Charlie might be a man trying to gain attention for his entertainment business in all the wrong ways. This theory is influenced by the SEO aspects of Lee's websites, as his websites are constantly turning up in search engine results. I'm not sure if this theory would rather call him a troll or simply a desperate man struggling to make a name for himself, but it's probably the theory I'm least likely to believe. Still, it wouldn't be unheard of for someone to advertise their business in a disturbing way solely to gain attention. Whatever the reason is behind the House of Chai websites, they need to be shut down. Not only do predators have access to legal CP, but young girls might come across an acting opportunity and think it's legit. And they might not have a parental figure there to tell them it's not. Fortunately, as mentioned at the beginning of this video, a couple websites were already taken down. This is because someone from our Discord is working with the domain hosting companies to get all of the websites taken down. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you have any information regarding the House of Chai mystery, please send me an email or contact me on Reddit or Twitter. If you'd like to join our investigation, the Discord server link will be in the video description. Keep in mind, if you want to access the investigation channels in the Discord, you need to confirm you are 18 years or older and verify with a mod. Read the welcome message for more information. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment, like, and subscribe.